Hello, everyone. Welcome. I posted I posted a picture of myself, and it is a picture of WTF, what could be next kind of thing. And the expression on my face was, yeah, it's it is overwhelming. I know a lot of you are it's there are places that are opening up. I know in the States there are some places that are opening up. Some places are opening up in the middle of June. Some of them a little bit sooner. Same in Florida and Texas. I don't even know if they ever closed down. And there are places, there is that opening that's happening now. People, I love you all. So, for those who are just joining me for the first time, my name is Mary June Tracy. I'm a psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and an astrologer. And I love astrology. I'm going to say I just love astrology, as above, so below. That's the way it is. And that's the way it is. You're not going to fucking move a planet anywhere else than where it's going to go. And that's exactly the energies that are coming in. You're not going to move anything anywhere else where they're going to go. I mean, we have such positive energy that's up there. We have a lot of sextiles that are going on up there, right? So the CDC update for Americans not to travel to Canada due to our case numbers. Well, yeah, don't come to Canada because our case numbers. I mean, the borders closed anyways. But okay, let me just explain some of the shenanigans that the planets are doing. Now, the planets are going in a forward motion. There is a forwardness that's going on. There's this energy that is happening. The thing is that it's not only the intuition that you have to be listening to. It is also the intelligence that you have. If it's there. Now, this is where the moon is sextiling the north node. We have Jupiter sextiling Pluto. We have an opposition with Mars and, or is that Venus? No. Oh, no. It's sorry. We got Mercury that is, it is in Aries. So we have Venus sextiling Mars. So we have this energy that is saying, hey, and a sextile is about 60 degrees, right? So we have a 60-degree angle there that it's like, it's not like a square, right? It's almost 90 degrees, but not 90 degrees, right? It's sort of there. It's like, okay, we can understand each other's point of view. We can come together and we can understand what's going on. So here we have Venus understanding what Mars is saying. Mars is saying, hey, you know what? There's a lot more stuff going on than meets the eye. You got to do your due diligence there, girl. I know you're not exactly where you want to be, and it's very frustrating for you to be in Aries. That's, he goes, that's my, that's my crib, girl. That's my crib. I love to be that, that's my home. And you're there and she's like, yeah, I know it's your home, but there's just so much frustration here. I'm overwhelmed with all of the energies that are in your house. The sun is here and it's exalted and it's walking around the house thinking like, oh, look at me, I'm the sun, aren't I beautiful? And it's and sort of poor Venus is in is in the underground. Like, she's like, what do you mean? You get to strut yourself. I don't want to strut myself. I mean, she's not having the power that she had when she was the morning star. She's becoming the evening star. So she's very subdued. So she's coming like, she's like, I don't really like being here. So get the fuck out of my face. And then she's squaring Pluto, and Pluto's going like, girl, I just know what's going on. I understand totally. There's a whole bunch of shit over here that's happening in this world and in this system, in this patriarchal system, and the stuff I'm digging up is just cray cray. And, and Venus is like, oh, just shut the fuck up, Pluto. I don't want to hear anything more from you. You have just said too much right now, and I'm already on edge. And then, of course, she's, there's Eris, and it's just like, hey, you know what? I know exactly what you're feeling because I'm like that all the time. So she's the one that wants to go on the bitch train with Venus. Eris is like, hey, girl, you want to come over here on the bitch train? Come on over. Let's just talk about this. So we have this energy that's saying, all of this coming forth for us. And it's, and it's shut the fuck up, Pluto. Just shut up, Pluto. Stop it. We have all of this coming forward, and Mars is just like being a bat out of hell. Like he's just in there. He's just going strong, and he's going to bump up to Chiron. And he's going to be, Chiron's like, you got to have an understanding of what's going on. And you got to make sure that you let people know that there is shit happening here. And changes that are going to happen, and they're going to be crazy and wild, because Chiron in Aries, he's going to be there for like 7 years. He's crazy. He's crazy when he's in Aries. Crazy shit happens. I mean, last time he was in there, the AMC Pacer came out in the Pinto, and people were wearing, crazy wide legged pants and platform shoes. And so Chiron's just saying, we just got to try it all, honey. Just got to try all of this kind of stuff and just get into our whack. And Mercury's like, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. I'll pass the word on as he zips by. It's and here we're coming in, and we're coming into these angles and this energy, and it's all happening throughout this today, Friday, Saturday, and then, as the moon goes into the balsamic phase and comes in on Saturday into that balsamic phase, and it gets closer into this Aries and in with the sun on the new moon. And the sun is like, look at me. I'm in my vacation home. I'm doing well. I look so beautiful. I'm so beautiful. And the moon's just like, can you know what? It's been rough going, man. Can you just tone it down a bit? And then Jupiter, who expands everything and he's having a square with, I'm looking at my writing and can't read it. The demon star. And having this square with this star, and the demon star, Algoria, is the one who brings in alcohol and spirits. So here we have, this is like biting off more than you can chew. So we have this energy of, and so this is where you got to watch it. Like if you like your wine, you might be liking your wine a little bit too much. If you like to have, if you like your brown stuff, your brown liquor or something like that, you might be having a little bit more than what you usually have. So that one glass doesn't end up being one glass. It ends up being the whole fucking bottle. Or, wanting to zone out on something. And that's with that Jupiter, because Jupiter, he just expands. He just like, okay, well, look at this. If you want to escape, you want to go to some escapism, I can take you there. I'm in Aquarius. We can go, and we can just go to the outer reaches of the galaxy if you really want to. And here it comes. And here comes this fixed star, and it's saying, yeah, we can take you there. We can, because that demon energy. Okay, and I'm going to use the word demon, so don't freak out. Take a chill pill. The demon part is your shadow. It is the parts and the gnarly shit that we don't want to look at. It's that parts that we hide away. That's why we utilize things like Kush, or we utilize things like alcohol or other forms of drugs. We do that so that we don't have to really look at that, and we can hide it away, or we can quiet it. And that's where that energy is coming in. So are we quieting these demons? How are you quieting your demons? Because we have the energies of your money, your self-worth, and advancing forward, right? This is where this is coming in. It's like, are you going forward? Because there is this heavy-handedness that's coming in that wants to stop it, or feels like it wants to stop it. And there's so much conditioning that's happening right now. And it is like that psych experiment with, the Pavlovian dog, of ringing the bell, and then he starts drooling because he knows he's going to get something, right? So it's conditioning. What are we being conditioned to do and feel and be, including the propaganda that is being conditioned upon us? Like, people are now posting, I got my shot, look at me. And it's like, okay, did you celebrate when you got your flu shot? Did you celebrate when you got other shots, like a tetanus shot? Like, it's like this energy that's coming in. It's like, well, I had to because I need my shot because I'm a frontline worker. Conditioning. I'm sorry. Things that are being pushed upon you. That's part of the social credit system. I'm sorry. I know some of you are going out there and you're going to get your shot. I know some of you are saying, well, this is what I have to do. But I'm honestly really pleading to you to really start taking a look at the long-term effects. You might get it today and you're going to be fine. What the effects are is the 6 to 8 months down the road. It's in December when shit is really going to hit with a lot of people who've had this shot. And that's where a lot more crazier energies are going to be coming in for us. Of course, it's December. Just sorry to say, Christmas is another shit show this year. But this is where you really have to step in and do the spiritual work. This is where you got to stepping into your courage and what is and isn't making sense. That's what you got to step into. And it's science of the vaccination. So grateful for it. I think they will make it mandatory for kids at school. Well, then, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm just going to say they're going to make a conditioning that's going to say that you have to have your child vaccinated. And here comes the division. Here comes segregation. And of course, parents are going to go, well, you know what? I have to because, I got to work. I got to do this. I have to do that. And so I'm going to put my child into this, into an experiment. You're going to allow your child to be experimented on, because that's what this is. Even doctors have said this is an experiment. We don't know what's going to happen. We haven't done enough testing on this for us to know what's going to happen with this. The energies in the sky are saying there's not enough testing. You're fighting what? A virus. It's a virus. It's a virus. But people are going to fight each other, Maureen. Because if I don't get vaccinated, that's segregating me because, she's not vaccinated. That's where segregation comes in. You can't do this. You can't fly. You can't get a bank account. You can't get this and you can't get that. That's where it comes in. And unfortunately, with all the propaganda that's coming out there, people are getting brainwashed and not being able to make a decisive decision and are going into fear factor. And this is where, when it comes to the energies of the sky, this is what I'm just telling you what's happening with Pluto and Pluto digging shit up, because that's what Pluto does. And he's in Capricorn. That's what he did last year. And then Saturn just egged him on. We knew when Pluto and Saturn met last year, that was a plague. Every single time they get together, there is a plague. And then what Jupiter does, it expands it. So we knew last year with those three guys being together in Capricorn, there is going to be a shit show that's going to happen. Now they're separated out. Pluto is still in Capricorn, digging things up. Saturn is in Aquarius, which is bringing in some weirdness, some mad scientist energy, because that's what Saturn does when he's in Aquarius. And Jupiter is just saying, let's just see where it goes and how far it can expand. And that's where the energies are coming in. And when we look at what's coming forward, especially for this weekend and for the energies that are coming in for this new moon is saying we need to look at what we are being conditioned to do. What are the seeds that we are planting forward? What is the energy that we are doing to plant forward? And this is where we are having to step into our courage and know what isn't making sense. Know what isn't making sense. And this is when we hold it to our heart. And we hold it to our heart and we hold it there and we start looking at it and we start saying, yeah, this doesn't make sense. And when we can do that and say to, even within the school system, I mean, if we're looking at the curriculum that's coming in with the Alberta school system, I mean, it's whacked with a lot of the stuff that they're wanting to implement within the school system at this time. It's like, what are you wanting our children to be taught? What is that of that conditioning? And we're going to have a lot of pissed off people that are going to be coming in this week. And a lot of people are going to be erupting and out of the frustration. And this is where, because Pluto's bringing in some information before he goes retrograde. And he's going to sit at this point, and he's going to sit at this energy. And he's going to say, I need you guys to sit at this and start looking and start diving deep. And start diving deep into things that are boosting your immune system, boosting your energy. This is where it's saying, if you're going to go on a hike, why are you going on a hike if you don't have enough water to go on that hike? That's logical. So this is where the logic energy comes in and saying, okay, this is where I want to go because this feels right to me. And the more you know, and the more of the education that you get, especially with the energies that are coming in and the things that are putting upon you. Because as I said yesterday, would you get a shot if you didn't want to get pregnant? But they're saying there's still a high chance of you getting pregnant. If there's a variant out there, the vaccine that you're getting right now, and you're a frontline worker, it's not going to stop the new variant that's going to come in. It's not going to boost that for you, and it's not going to boost your immune system. So this is about breaking down your immune system. Why do they want to break down your immune system? It is a frustrating factor that's coming in. And I'm not a scientist. I just go by what the energies above are showing me. And so far, everything that I've said when it comes to the prediction of the energies and of the astrology have all been on cue. And so that's what I am following until it shows me something different. And that's the frustration with it all. Because we want to go forward. We want to be that Knight of Swords. And we want to charge ahead. But the Page of Pentacles, they're saying, do you have all the facts? And he's reversed. Do you have all the facts? And the Unicorn came in and said to have patience with this all. Let's have patience. Let's see how this is all falling out. Because it is weird and it is creating a bipolar aspect right now. Where it's really, and especially tomorrow is going to come into some really gnarly energy. And so this is all about double checking. This is all about, seeing what's going on. I do. A lot of people are writing the MLAs and saying this is what they want. A lot of people are especially with the schools, are talking to their schools, and they are doing things like that. So some people are boycotting places, are beginning to boycott. So there's a lot of that you're going to start seeing. This is, taking that control of what you can do. And the more you do it, the more people are doing this outcry, then you're going to start seeing the changes that are coming in. And that's what I have seen on my side and with many of my clients that have talked about it. And I have clients who've gone out and they've gotten their shot, and that's fine, but it is, also doing the due diligence. And, we, if you've seen what's happened in Israel and what's going to be happening in Britain just now, these are only steps to saying, this is how we can keep you in check. And there's no going, the only way of going back when something like this is implemented to a point is through civil war, where people do things. It start, and that is when people start getting too pissed off and are getting pushed too far to the edge, that they start coming out. And this is where we want to set for a win. We want to have what we want to have in our life, and we want to be very powerful. And that's where we want to step into it. We want to step into our spiritual work. And stepping into our spiritual work is stepping into our honesty and our integrity and saying, okay, this is what I'm standing up for. And writing and doing my due diligence, right? CoQ10, after your video. Yeah, CoQ10 is absolutely fabulous. I use Sisu CoQ10. So, I mean, that's product. I am not endorsing any products or anything like that, but I met the guys who started Sisu. It's an Alberta company when I worked at Community Natural Foods. So there's things like, CoQ10, your vitamin D, your zinc, things like sorbic acid, sorbic vitamin C, not ascorbic, but sorbic vitamin C is really good because it really it is your body absorbs it a lot faster and easier. So there's different products. I mean, once you start looking at the things that you can do and empowering yourself, this is also looking at so much more that you can do for yourself. And the one thing is that you're not seeing, in that, you're fighting a virus. If you're fighting a virus, don't you want to boost your immune system? Don't you do things that are nourishing for your body? The very first thing is that you want to start nourishing your body. It's like when you're sick, or if you have the flu or a cold. My mother used to make a chicken soup, not Campbell's, but a real chicken soup. And she would make this beautiful chicken soup. But what she would put in there, and my mom wasn't a Spice Girl. No, she wasn't one of the Spice Girls. She wasn't Posh Spice. She might have been Sassy Spice. She was a Sagittarius Capricorn. She was born on the 21st, and she was a Capricorn. But she was, she would add a little bit of cayenne pepper in with that. And cayenne pepper is also a really good thing to boost the immune system. So she would add that into the soup, and then she would make this big stock of chicken noodle soup that we would have. And see that there, now I'm boosting the immune system. I'm giving the nutrients, you can start adding things like so if you're going to make a chicken noodle soup stock, let's say, so you just throw your chicken in, cut up your chicken, throw your chicken, everything, including the fat. Don't skin your chicken on this. Add lemongrass in there, cut up the lemongrass, add some lemongrass in there, add, bone broth. Yeah, that's another good one. These are all things that are really good and have these nutrients for you. And that's part of the spirituality. It's called, let's nurture your body. Let's bring you to a healthy way. And with what is going on, and the thing is that even though we can say the States is not, that's happening in the States, we also have to remember that we are connected. Whatever happens down there slowly starts happening up here. And we're starting to see a lot of segregations that are happening down in the States. And there's a huge fear, and fear of the collective goes above and it comes in. And then the planets are showing and saying, look at here. Do you want to go with Elderbon? Do you want to go over with this demon star that's going to, he's the one where alcohol comes from, the spirits come from, where you want to hide? No, we don't want to be biting off more than we can chew. But we also have to be looking at, what is that going to do to my body? What is that going to do for my system before I take it? And having the informed decision. I think what really, a couple things that really bring in issues with this. One, something is being forced upon you, and you're not given the full truth of what it is and what's in it. That's the thing. So you're not being given a lot of the truths that you need to make an informed decision. So when you are looking at, say, your vitamins, you can go online and you can look up the different companies and look at how they rate and see how they rate by independent testers, and see how, which vitamins, hold those, the true nutrients that you are going to be taking. Right? So you can't go and actually do that with what things that they're trying to implement. And with this so-called mutant energy that's coming in, which is very much that underlying energy that's there, and in with the astrology, it comes in and it can transform and it can mutate and it can and shapeshift. And that's where we're at. It's like, what is it shapeshifting into? And how is it shapeshifting? And we know through the astrology, when Saturn and Pluto get together in Capricorn, and when they have, we know that there's a lot of man-made viruses that come out, or man-made that come in, because that's what happens with the two of them. And the thing is, with that, we can go back in history and go back to other times and see what has happened and how things have been pushed upon people at certain times in history. And we can look at the stars and we can look at the astrology and we say, well, every time Neptune is at this 21 degrees, crazy stuff happens in Pisces. And this is what happens. So we see that. Around when Neptune was at 19 degrees, you mean there was a witch hunt that happened? Every time. We see that there's a push against people who don't want to conform. And so it's sitting there right now. It's at about 21 degrees. So you got to think of that energy that's in there. It's only a couple degree orb that's sitting there that wants, are you going to be the different one? Are you going to be the one who wants to stand up with your individuality and stand up with your uniqueness? And that's where it's like doing the spiritual work and stepping into your courage and step away from what isn't making sense. And that's where we're heading. But you got to have patience with this. And that's where a lot of the frustration and the pissiness is going to come in. So we're going to find a lot of pissed off people coming in this weekend. A lot of energy, a lot of frustrations, a lot of overwhelmness is going to come in. And you don't want to fall into where you want to go into your escapism and get into your escapism. So you have to be aware and be conscious of it. If that makes sense. I know what I say really irks some people, and some people get very angry and they want to be kind and diplomatic, and I love that. But there's a time when you have to stand up and say, you know what? Enough is enough. And there is fear out there. I feel it. I get fearful. I get overwhelmed with all of this too. and trying to make an informed decision. What's my family going to do? What does that look like for my family? What does that mean if somebody in my family gets the shot and I don't? Does that mean that, later on down the road, are they going to segregate me from my family because I decided to be on this island and they're over there on that island? And I know many of you are saying, well, that can't happen in Canada. That can't happen in the United States. Things change. Energies move. And there's so much in the world that we are not paying attention to because we're not watching. Right? So that's also part of our job, to see what else is going on in this world. Your mom's she's been sick since she got the shot. I hope everything goes well for your mom, Andrea, because that's scary, because you're not there. And I know, that's your mom. And there's a lot there. And we have to do our due diligence. We have to wake up, people. We do. We have to wake up to what's going on in the world around us. We have to wake up to understand that China is building an island in the South Seas, and they're just waiting. The Ukraine and Russia, are they going to, they're right there on the border. What kind of explosions are going to be happening there? And will the U.S. step in? And what does that mean if the U.S. steps in? There's that energy. So that energy, even though it's not us, and a lot of people say, well, that's over there. That has nothing to do with us. It goes into the consciousness. So the connectiveness. So there's more fear. There's more animosity that goes on in there. So we have a lot of this different energy that's floating around on us, right? And it is causing frustration and overwhelmness. And even for myself, it's like my guides told me in 2017, everything has to be online. You have to do all your courses online. And I have to trust that. And saying, okay, there's a reason why they don't want me to teach courses in person at this time. Maybe sometime down the road, but it's going to be a long time down the road before I do that. That's where it is. Even when I was asked to do markets, and I know Andrea can attest to this, and even wanting to start up a new market, it was like my guides were saying, no, it's not the time. It is not the time. And yes, people are going to do it, and people are going to say, yeah, look we were successful and everything else. And that's great. There's still this energy that's coming in. Same with South Node Sag. I said, it's not really a good time to fly. Many people have flown to Mexico and everything else. According to this variant, some guy flew back from Brazil and brought it to Strathmore. Knowing the laws of your land, because laws are going to change so quickly on us. They really are. Where 1 minute you could do something, the next minute you can't. So this is why you have to stay the course in what you need to be doing and stay in the course of your spiritual work. And that's so important with the energies that are coming in. And especially with this new moon. This new moon is it's another powerful moon. It's not, it is power, but it's not going to be as gnarly as the full moon in Scorpio at the end of the month. That's going to be very gnarly, because that's going to be bringing in some other energies as we go into Taurus energies, because then that's slow moving, and Scorpio is going to push the buttons. Scorpio is going to push the things that maybe we don't want to get pushed, but that's what Scorpio does. Anybody who knows me, I'm a Scorpio. I'm going to push you. I'm going to ask you questions. Why do you, why do you think it's okay to do this? What is your reasoning for getting the vaccine? What is your reasoning for wanting to fly out of the country? What is your reasoning for doing what you do? Like, legit questions. A lot of people say, well, it's my job. They're forcing me to get it. Okay. And how does that make you feel? And asking that. So it's all of this that's coming in. And you might be forced to do something, but here it is. Let's say you're going to be anyways, he gave the example where you go on a spaceship and they're doing the countdown. And then all of a sudden you get a panic attack and you're saying, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. It's too late now. The countdown's on and they're at 10, 9, 8, 7. They can't stop it. And now you're shot off into space. There's no easy turnaround and saying, oh, okay, come on back. Unfortunately. So it's like before you get onto something, before you do something, do your check. And it might piss people off because now you're standing in your power and you're standing in and saying, I don't feel comfortable doing that. That's where this comes in. And that's where a lot of people are going to be forced to do things they don't want to do. I mean, I definitely will probably be starting some kind of homeschooling. So again, energies change, things change. And that's because if they do make vaccines for the schools, my daughter and I already discussed it. Mateus is not getting vaccinated. I'm not going to put my grandson through a mutation. That's my point of view. So will I take the time and start making a homeschool? Probably. Because that's going to be an important thing to do for him. And that's, that's the cray shit. But so far they haven't said anything as of yet. So what crazy times we live in, right? We all signed up to be here, and in being here, it is bringing in some very powerful energies for us all, and some very powerful decisions that we are going to have to consider. I'm just going to check on my. There you go. Just checking on. Is this a good? Yeah, Mary June Tracy page, and any other comments that are there. We're going to have to consider. Oops. Just going to check on my. So. Okay. I worry about social impacts on my little ones. This is going to affect them for a long time. Definitely, it's going to affect them for a long time. But you have to be the social impact on your kids. I mean, you're the one, you have to be the one that shows them. And for you to start looking at what are your morals and what are your ethics, not what the neighbor's morals and ethics are. So that's a good task for people to do and look at. Is like take out and start looking at what are your morals and what are your ethics, and looking at that. So when you look at when you do something like that, ethic is a code of right and wrong as deemed by society. Morals are what you believe is right and wrong. And in doing this, to complete, both ethics and moral, how are they different for you? Where do you transcend the cultural norms? How are they the same? And how have societal ethics influenced your personal morality? And do your own ethics differ at all from those who which you were raised. So this is like really doing your due diligence. And being in Aries, it's also who are you putting up as my guides are saying, who's being the sacrificial lambs at this slaughter right now? Who's being the sacrificial lambs? Because that's where a part of this energy comes in. It looks at it saying, okay, because as Aries comes in, this lamb, this bah, bah, and then it comes in and it's becoming the ram, right? It's becoming this fierceness. It's becoming this strength. But in order to get that strength, what is there something that is being sacrificed and looking at does it feel right to you? And that's with whatever choice that you do. Does that feel right to you? If it doesn't feel right to you, why are we doing it? It's like being forced again. Are you, forced to go hang out with your, the peer pressure? And you got to think, what is the longevity and the long-term effect that's going to happen in their development? Is there going to be high rates of autoimmune disorders? Is there going to be high rates of new types of cancer that are going to be coming? Is this going to be able that my grandson will never be able to help to have a baby? We don't know. That's why it's a science experiment. So this is why we come in and we start to look at it's like, what is it? What is my societal expectations, and how do I differ from societal expectations? And how does that resonate with me? That's, that is, coming in with some ethical questions. And looking at those ethical questions that we have to have with ourselves. And I always say, when something is trying to be conditioned or pushed upon you, that's when you have to question why. And they can tell you this is a good thing, this is going to be great, and you're going to be able to be with your family and everything again. But if there's a mutation out there, if there's a variant out there, how is what they're saying you're doing going to stop that? What, you're going to get another new shot that a company that the CEO is making over $58 million just by stock options in 2 months? It's a hell of a lot of stock, hell of a lot of fucking money, and who earns a wage just as high every year. Do you think his interest is in yours? Probably not. Probably not. And the conditions that they've made for this to be out there, because they don't want to be liable, go on their website. It tells you they're not going to be liable. If there's anything that happens, they are not liable. So you're taking something that has not even been approved because it feels like the next best thing. Just saying, is it? So, lots for us to consider. And with the energies that are coming forth, Handmaid's Tale, shit, yes, Andrea. And I know, Sherry, your hands are tied, and you got to see how it plays out. But you also have to, I get it. And I get a lot of people's hands are tied and your insurance won't cover it. No. Because if it's not tested, if it's not approved, it's something that's being rushed in to hopefully save the day. But when something's being rushed in to save the day, That means it's saving the day. It's saving the day. It's saying now everybody's going to be fine. We're all going to be good. This is going to really help us to get back together. This is actually going to make you stronger than you've been before. This is really going to help so that we can go out there and start doing things. But is it? Due diligence, education, spiritual work, do your code of ethics and your morals and see how that stands with you. And feel where that feels right for you. Because only you at the end can make that decision. And with my premonitions and the things that I see, there will be, and I know a lot of people don't want to say, don't like this, but there will be segregation with it. I'm just warning you guys, and you may not see it. You may start seeing it by the end of the year and going into 2022 and 2023. That's where you're going to start seeing it and things being segregated. So, and that's going to be where more wake-up calls for people are going to come forth. And not to play a doomsday card. I'm not trying to play a doomsday card, but this is where you have to double check everything. This is where things are, that things are weird and they're creating some crazy ass energies. And this is where we have to look at, are you biting off more than you can chew right now? Do you need to take some time and retreat and take some time in meditation and take some time in nature and pray? And come into that groundedness? Is there, is this where you need to be stepping back into your own courage of what's right for you? And that's only you can decide that, not anybody else. And step into that power for you. And that's where, when you're going to find others pushing you back in some way, and when Mars and Chiron conjunct, and especially with that Venus squaring Pluto, it is going to cause some frustrations and it's going to cause some overwhelmness. And as we are coming into a new moon, because the new moon, remember, it's the dark phases. So we don't see everything that's coming out. We're not, every time there's a dark phase, and we're going to be coming into eclipse season soon. So the eclipse season will be starting in May, and we'll be starting into the eclipse season. So more things are going to be hidden from us, especially with the Gemini solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. So yeah, baby. So much fun. So much fun. So much fun. Honor yourself in all that you do. Honor yourself is the most important thing. And come to where you need to be in honoring yourself. And in doing that, it's going to be an important piece. I know what I say is controversial. I know what I say a lot of people don't like. My decisions I'm making, my decisions are through the astrology. That's what I'm making my decisions from. And I know the planets have never lied to me, because they do what they do, and they have an 8,000-year history on doing what they do, or more. Well, 800,000 years that has been written, but there is that. And so we know, as above, so below. And that the planets do try and warn us and let us know that this is what is going on. This is what's being shaken up. And I told you last year, with the Mafia Brothers happening, telling you, hey, we're going in for another big lockdown. Before this, I just told you guys, we're going in for another major lockdown. And I'm telling you now, there's going to be some shit that's going to stir up in December with all of this. And there is going to be where they're going to start making things that you know, having an app on your phone, and it's like more, that means all your information, your credit score, everything goes onto this app. That's part of the app's application. So it's like, oh my God, that means I got to be that good person, cross my T's, dot my I's. Trust me, honey, I am not going to be on the island with everybody who crosses their T's and dots their I's. I'm on the other fucking island with all the other misfits. That's where I'll be. And I'd rather be on the island with the misfits. Just saying. That's just part of who I am. But coming out to you guys with so much love. So much love. Have a fabulous day, everybody. Really. Be aware. Other people might challenge you, right? So I'll see you on the Misfit Island. Yay, Cynthia and I are on the Misfit Island. Well, the Misfit Island will have the wine because on the other island, there's actually a demerit if you drink too much. So I guess I'm fucking on the other island. If there's wine, take me. And okay, everybody on the Misfit Island will have the Starbucks and the wine and the other stuff that we're not supposed to be having. So, so it is quite a journey that we're on, but it's quite an exciting journey that we're on too. Tonight, my fairy workshop starts tonight. So if anybody wishes to join me with the fairy workshop, let me know. The fairy workshop starts tonight. It is 15 weeks, but as I just quoted you about the morals and the ethics, that's what the fairies work with. The fairies work with morals and ethics. Greg's bringing beer. Yes, we'll have beer. We'll have beer, and if you need the other spirits too, the other spirits will be there too. So, and if you don't want to have any of that, you don't have to. You could just come join us. So that's fine too. And if you are wanting to order a new moon reading, I have just a couple left that I'll be able to put you in jello shots for Andrea. Andrea and Sherry are going to be underneath the palm tree doing jello shots. That's where I think we'll find you guys. And the kids are just playing in the sand over there. They're fine. Don't worry about them. They're building their sandcastle. They'll be okay. Everybody's fine. Everybody's fine. We'll just send the men out there to forage and get the coconuts. I guess I put us all on a tropical island that is very fertile and has lots of goodness on there. So so if you're wanting to order a new moon reading, definitely get a hold of me. They're $25 for the new moon reading. If you're wanting to join the fairy workshop, it starts tonight. And then next week, I have the Angel Alchemy course and the Archaea, which are the female archangel course, starting next week. And that is the fairies and the angels. Like, you're going to see me. I won't need any wine or any drugs. I'm going to be in the fairy and angel land, so I'm going to be in my own little world. So I got a sweater that says that. It's fine. I'm fine. It'll be fine. We're all fine. So have a fabulous day, honestly, and do your work. That's what we got to do. And stepping into your courage and your power. That's what we're here to do. So shine your light. Something bugs you. It's just like, you know what? Fuck it. They can go fuck off because this is who I am. And take it or leave it. God bless and the goddess bless you. Have a fabulous, fabulous day, everyone. And how much for the new moon? The moon reading is $25. And get a hold of me. You can email me, thegurumama@gmail.com. I'll put this up here. The Guru Mama @gmail.com. And I would need your birth information. And I do a personal reading just for you. And it's about 15 minutes long that it's there, because I go through and it's just giving you, and the information with this moon and going forward for the next few weeks. And then I do a tarot reading with it. So need to add, she's fine too. Definitely. So everyone, you're very welcome. Have a blessed day. I gotta get going because I have a client. It's probably like, where is she? Have a blessed one, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.